Morning. Hope you're having a blessed start to your week. Another Tuesday training coming at you. So today I want to talk to you guys about annual reviews. And before we get into annual reviews, to preface is I cannot emphasize the importance enough of getting freaking organized. And make sure that you have all of your book of business like very organized in a spreadsheet or in your CRM, because if you are not organized, it will cost you a tremendous amount of money. I promise you. And if you are organized, you are going to make way more money in the long run in this business. So first of all is get organized, get all your clients together, leave a detailed list of name, address, phone number, policy number, carrier, and then the rest of the information. Then along with that, what I would do with every family I would help and every new client I would acquire is back when I was in person, when I had made the sale, I'd take a picture with them in their home, save it in my phone under their contacts. So I have hundreds of contacts of clients in my phone of families that I've helped. So anytime they would call me, if they called me 6 months or a year later, or I still have clients that call me to this day, 2, 3, 4 years later, I remember faces, not names. So I immediately remember who that person is. But over the phone, obviously we can't take a picture with them. So once I switched to virtual, what I would do is as soon as I got off the phone with them, I would leave as many detailed notes as I possibly could remember about that family. Of maybe where they're from, what state they grew up in, their favorite sports team, their hobbies, whatever the case may be, whatever one-off comments they made in that appointment, I would write as many of those down as I possibly could. And then if they ever called me back, I would remember them. And then on top of that, make sure, super important, that you guys are saving all your financial inventories. It's going to save you a lot of time, effort, and energy saving those and saving that information. So just the more organized you guys can be, the more data you can save, collect, document, everything else, the better. So when it's a year later, 13 months later, whatever the case may be down the road, when you call that client to do an annual review, you're much better prepared. And whenever I would call to check in, call for an annual review, is very simple, very straightforward. I'd call them up. Ring. Hey, John. Hey, it's Jonah, your insurance guy. How we doing? Good. Yep. I helped you with that Mutual of Omaha policy to protect the mortgage a year ago. You guys still remember me, right? Haha. Yep. Okay, awesome. How are the kids doing? Kids are doing well. You guys are still good. Glad to hear it. Yeah, John. So basically, I was just calling you to check in. Do you still have the copy of the policy? Okay. Gotcha. Well, we can get another one mailed out to you. And John, I was also looking here because I know when I spoke to you guys a year ago, it was important to make sure that both you and Mary were insured. But at the time, with budget and you guys had just moved into the home, everything else, we only got you covered. So do you want to look at protecting Mary today? Or, whether they covered the half mortgage, maybe upgrade into the full mortgage. You look at adding on, you pitch them whole life, Mutual Omaha whole life children's policies, whatever you protect the grandkids, the kids, upgrade their coverage, maybe convert them from a term to something permanent if that's what they want. There's annuity opportunities. There's so many aspects in this business. So ultimately is just number one, most important, just recap, is get freaking organized. But secondly, when you're calling these clients and helping these families, I would really encourage you to not look at this as just a one and done type of sale, like one and done, bam, and then just constantly finding new clients. Because let's say, for example, if I'm selling pest control or solar, I'm constantly having to find new clients, and it is a wham and bam, one done type of scenario. But that's the beautiful part about insurance is as long as you treat your clients right, treat the families you serve right, you do good business, it's the gift that keeps on giving. And you have the ability to build a solid, significant book of business. And it genuinely gets easier and easier the longer you go in this business. Where first 2 years, I was in insurance. First year, spent $130,000 on leads. Issue paid $548. Second year, spent the exact same, $130,000 on leads, about $10K a month, right on leads, and $2,500 a week. Second year, issue paid $780,000. What changed? Skill set simply went up. Third year, spent half of that, if that, on leads, a quarter of that. Really didn't spend a whole lot on leads because a lot of my third year was just annual reviews, revisiting clients' coverage, upgrade, adding coverage on, helping out, getting referrals. I got a ton of referrals, leveraging the emergency contact list, 5 people. We've got another training on that if you missed that. Phenomenal training. So between upgrading their coverage, adding coverage on to the spouse, kids, grandkids, getting referrals, annuity opportunities, of like the first yes is always the hardest yes to get. But once you have the trust, the credibility established, then they know you're their guy. Well, treat that client right. And I would encourage you to have a long-term perspective in this business, because I see agents so many times are like, oh dude, like I only got a 2X or a 3X or a 5 or 10X on this lead. But I need to grind these till I get a 10X. It's just like on the clients that you helped, yes. But if you look at the long-term acquisition of each client, each family you help, well, dude, that's when we get into 10, 20, 30, 50X if you're slinging enough annuities, where you can get really freaking profitable really fast. And one thing I always go back to is the agents that quit in this business, they always quit within the first 9 months, because what happens after month 9? Back ends start coming in. So for me personally, dude, I was really bad when I got into sales, and I was not a good salesman. And I made little to no money my first 2 to 3 months in this business. But you fast forward over the course of the first full year. Well, over the course of my first full year in insurance, I actually paid $548,000. And so 25% of $548,000, dude, that's $130,000 in back ends coming in that I forgot about, because those were families that I helped 9, 10, 11, 12 months ago. I helped almost a year ago. And so I share that to tell you that beginning of the year made almost no money. End of the year, not only having phenomenal success, not only phenomenal money, but I'm literally having 6 figures come in passively just simply from back ends alone of money that I forgot about. The reason I share that is it's very easy to overestimate what we can do with the course of a few weeks, a month, 3 months, and underestimate what we can do in the course of a consistent 6, 12, 24 months of consistency and grind. If you took value from this, please like, subscribe, and share with someone else that this would be beneficial to. God bless.